thought this video was very informative about how Facebook is not what we really think it is. There are many things in the video that I thought were interesting. A lot of people that worked there said they were very slow to react to issues that could have been prevented using Facebook. The unprofessionalism in the video was seen throughout both videos. It was very alarming that they don't have a good work ethic. He started the Facebook while he was still in school, and he just wanted his college friends and classmates to be able to have a way to connect to each other. And he finally realized that he could take it to the country and then the world. And he said that if you're enjoying it, you would rather make things happen now and apologize later and not care about what you're saying at the moment. He wanted to make the world a better place by allowing Facebook to connect the world with one another. People that were inside the business, some of the people on the camera said that they weren't supposed to talk about how the business ran and what it was about on the inside, and there were things that were supposed to be kept private. Facebook was slow to understand how Facebook was used for bad things. They were only focused on the good things and how to make a bigger profit, how to get more people to follow them. And once the like button was added to Facebook was a driving force, and they were able to gain a lot of popularity, which generated more revenue for them. And Facebook did not put up very many restrictions on what could be said, what could be told, read, posted, because they were not liable for any violence or harm or anything that would be done. They were protected by law. But instead they relied on people's common sense to not impose a threat on somebody or violence. In Egypt in 2011, it took 28 days for one group created by one guy to start protesting. And then after that, the revolution, violence broke out because of Facebook. And once again, they were not moving fast enough to realize the threat that was going on in Egypt. Uh, 20-year-olds that work for Facebook were the final say in what should be removed by Facebook or what was not harmful or hurtful enough to stay on Facebook. And the company was staying at a steady line, whereas the growth went up dramatically, and they were not following that line. They were staying at the same height as before. When Mark finally decided that he wanted to go public, he had very little experience in advertising, and he was unable to do it in the right way. They wanted to collect personal data when you were on Facebook, scrolling through, liking stuff, sharing stuff, commenting on stuff, but also off the internet, like what groceries you bought, where you live, where you work, what your family's doing. Messages are never deleted. I remember there was one person that wanted all his files from Facebook, and he got over 1,000 sheets of paper. And he remembered he deleted some of these messages, but they still showed up in his mail when he wanted those files. Mark was in an interview about how privacy in Facebook may not be enough. He got very nervous. He was sweating a lot. He wasn't sure exactly what to say. He stuttered a lot. In the US, there's no privacy laws to protect people and their privacy, so Facebook was kind of just doing whatever they wanted to. And then Facebook started sharing users' information with third parties so they could figure out what apps to make focused on people. They could figure out what they were buying. They could run advertisements, what news they were into, so they could post news on their feed. But Facebook was not keeping track of these third parties' actions. So anyone that could make an app or anything like that could have access to anyone's personal information out there. And the person that was in charge of privacy, he said he was non-qualified for the position. High-level employees lacked response of worst-case scenarios on people using other info to harm others. There was one guy that said this is what could happen, and all the executives up top didn't really care. They didn't listen. With the Ukraine and Russia deal, there was a group in Russia that had made a bunch of fake accounts, fake information about Ukraine to make them look bad, make them look like everything was their fault. And then once Ukraine's president notified Facebook, Facebook's response was, it's not our issue, it's not our problem. We have freedom of speech, we can write what we want, we can say what we want. And they didn't help out Ukraine. So they wouldn't investigate any of the fake accounts, which Ukraine's president said were obviously fake accounts. In the 2016 campaign, over 1 billion posts were set on Facebook, and many people believe that this changed the election and supported Trump to help Trump get elected instead of Hillary. Donald Trump's digital media advisor spent $100 million on Facebook. This was to get Donald Trump's advertisement out there to show who Donald Trump was, what he was going to do, how he was going to do it. 62% of Americans get their news from social media like Facebook, which is a crazy number, knowing that probably half the stuff on Facebook is fake news, or any social media site. And Facebook said they were not responsible for the accuracy of news on the website, which is kind of frightening because 62% of Americans get their news on Facebook. So half of those Americans could be seeing fake news or lied to. Macedonia in the 2016 election made countless numbers of fake profiles that targeted Trump and Hillary. Some good, some bad. But that's what they wanted to read about, so that's what they posted about. And Facebook did not take responsibility for it. Now, fake news generally gets more shares, more likes, more comments than real news does. And when Obama was elected president, he used Facebook to help him win. No one complained that that changed the election. No one said that influenced the election. But when Trump used Facebook, the whole country seemed to complain and say that it changed the election and it was not fair. Facebook did eventually find pages with Russian-linked news after the election. And it was the same group, part of the same group that attacked Ukraine during that propaganda. And in the Philippines, the president used fake accounts to lie about his policies. And if anybody violated his laws, rules on Facebook, they would be threatened. And Facebook once again did not give an explanation on the Philippines issues. And once again, many times Facebook said they were too slow to see issues. So Facebook seems to be like a great place. However, they're very slow to react. They won't help out people when needed. They don't care if something happens and it started because of Facebook. And thank you for watching.